Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
With the December holiday period just days away, South Africans are being reminded to stock up on HIV and other chronic medication to ensure that they can continue to take their life-saving treatment throughout the festive season.
Today marks the 35th edition of World AIDS Day, and this year's theme is Let Communities Lead. It's commemorated on the 1st of December every year, giving people the opportunity to unite in the fight against HIV and to show support for people living with HIV. It's also a day communities use to reset their sights on a common goal, to end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. But are we on track to reach this goal? The World Health Organization says despite significant progress, HIV remains a pressing public health issue. It says globally 9.2 million people do not have access to the HIV treatment that they need. Each day, 1,700 lives are lost from HIV-related causes, and 3,500 people are infected, with many not knowing their status or having access to treatment. The organization says with less than 7 years to reach this goal, there's still an urgent need for continued funding of HIV programs. The latest data by UNAIDS shows that there are around 39 million people in the world living with HIV. It's estimated that about 8 million of those reside in South Africa. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
The case that has no end in sight. The Pretoria High Court has postponed the Senzo Miwa trial to next year following one of the lawyers falling ill. The court has been hearing a trial within a trial to determine the admissibility of confession statements by two of the accused. So that was after physical altercation during the trial earlier in the week. The brawl happened when one of the warders tried to get the accused to change how they were sitting. The accused say they were merely taking time to stretch when they were approached by warder Vusijeli. After a short verbal exchange, the situation turned physical, with accused 3, 4 and 5 throwing punches.
What happened, he approached them again and said to them they should sit down as they are seated here, even though it is a gentleman. And then, according to accused number 3, he then uttered the word, if they do not want to comply with his instructions, it's going to hit them. Mabengafuni ukwenza lokho akushoyo uzobashaya.
I called. I said, Nduli, you cannot sit like that. Then they howled at me. Sizokushaya thina if usondela la. Then I was like, okay, if that's the way, you can fight me if you want.
As the second day of the climate conference, COP28, kicked off in Dubai, South Africa and many parts of the world recorded record-breaking heat during the year.
So let's work efficiently. Let's agree on the agenda and move to text quickly. Please, we have no time to waste.
Just this week, parts of South Africa experienced soaring temperatures, particularly bad in Johannesburg, where the emergency services remained on high alert. The stage 6 load shedding certainly didn't help in the battle against the heat wave. Electricity Minister says there will be less load shedding over the December period, with some days load shedding free. Eskom says this is not true. Now the Chinese have stepped in to save the day. The first batch of 450 generators from there arrived in the country. They'll be used in emergency public facilities like schools and hospitals.
So whilst we're resolving the issues of load shedding, it's important, as the Deputy Minister has indicated, that we preserve life. And the Chinese were very enthusiastic, demonstrated levels of solidarity and camaraderie, friendships that we have enjoyed over a period of time, to say that as you resolve the bigger question of ending load shedding, you need some alternative supply, or if you like, some solution that will ensure that there's uninterrupted supply.
This might help the dire situation at many government-run hospitals. Some were told their electricity would be switched off if they didn't pay their bills. The presidency says it's still investigating whether a speech delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa last week was written with the help of an artificial intelligence application. This after a social media commentator claimed that a speech Ramaphosa delivered on decolonizing education was not the original text. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya said the presidency does not condone the use of artificial intelligence text generators to draft speeches.
We've then requested the Department of Basic Education, which submitted the initial draft, to assist us in determining whether those parts of the speech were indeed developed via AI. If so, why and who was involved, so that the necessary actions that can then be taken.
Magwenya says going forward, the presidency will be instituting an additional quality assurance check on draft speeches submitted to it by departments. This week saw a fatal tragedy at the Impala Platinum Mine in Rustenburg. 12 people died when a cage carrying 86 mine workers suffered a mechanical fault, resulting in it plunging to the bottom of the shaft. At least 10 miners are still in a critical condition. Families of the workers had to go through the devastating process of identifying the bodies of their loved ones. Mine management said it would support the families with the burial costs.
So this was the rope. So you can notice that all the rope returned back to the winder house as a result of the tension that was on this rope.
When there is a disaster like this one, we'll pay attention to it and draw lessons out of it. What we're not going to do is to stand up on tables and shout about it. We don't campaign over disasters.
I swore to eliminate Hamas, and nothing will stop us.
Back home, here, hundreds of protesters gathered in Joburg and Cape Town on Wednesday to show solidarity with the people of Palestine.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Down apartheid!
That's it from me and the rest of the team. Have a good weekend.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.